Hello everyone, and welcome to Good Morning Trading. One trader after another, it's time for your favorite show. I'm delighted to see you again. We're going to review the latest news from the financial markets. So right away, this week we have two major events that are making investors a bit cautious. It's making investors act with caution. We'll see that we've started ranging on pretty much all the global indices. We'll get into the details. Indeed, we have an extremely packed macroeconomic agenda this week, especially with the employment report. In the United States, it's scheduled for this Wednesday, after a delay caused by the latest administrative shutdown. Normally, we should have had it last Friday, but we'll have it on Wednesday. And on top of that, it coincides with the Consumer Price Index, which is expected on Friday. So this report on employment and inflation in the United States, which are scheduled for Wednesday and Friday, should especially help market participants anticipate the pace of the calendar of the Federal Reserve's interest rate adjustments in a year that will also be marked by the appointment of a new president when the current term ends. Jerome Powell will come to an end at the end of May. So, a lot of major macroeconomic activity this week. And then all the concerns we have related to AI, which can cause the Nasdaq to drop sharply for 2, 3, or even 4 days. Then it tries to bounce back, and now, again, it has tried to recover, but we'll see. It's not with a lot of momentum. We've got one more token to put in the pinball machine. We're waiting for the results from the giant NVIDIA, beyond even the Titan NVIDIA, on February 25th. As long as we don't have the results from NVIDIA, especially NVIDIA's outlook, for the next quarter, for the next 3 months, and possibly for the year, the market is going to be extremely tense and volatile. So be aware, we can take a day off. 1%, 2%, 3% maybe on the Nasdaq, and lose them the next day no matter what. In any case, yesterday the Dow Jones stagnated, but it was at its historical records. He has broken his all-time record again. He closed above 50 mines. This is an extremely positive sign. For the Dow Jones, the S&P 500 has progressed by almost 0.5%. And the Nasdaq, for its part, rose by 0.90. So the Nasdaq is climbing a little faster than the others, but since the others are at their all-time highs, that's normal. It still has some room to grow. We'll see the detail with all the indices. So on the Nasdaq, as you can see, yesterday it bounced off the 25,000 mark. Now that's the big classic move that we love when we're scalpers or traders. A small rebound and it's blocked at its middle, and its monthly level, very clean, very clear. But as you can see, it hasn't done much. It's still very far from its yearly high, which is, to be precise, 1,000 points higher. So we can see it here in this view. Over 2 months, the Nasdaq, and we've actually just reconnected with the bottom of its daily range over 2 months. So that's not a sign of good health. The S&P 500, its little brother, on the other hand, over the past 2 months, it's been hovering near its yearly high. It's having trouble, as I mentioned to you during the last Good Morning Trading, the one yesterday. Getting past 7,000 could be tough for it. And indeed, it's tough because it hit resistance and each time it dropped back down to 7,000. So now they would need a good piece of news, some good news, maybe a positive statistic, maybe the employment report, maybe inflation, so that it can finally break free from the 7,000 mark and move above it. And turn that resistance into support? Well, it's not helping because at 7,000 we also have the middle air at monthly. So we have a double resistance. So now it takes a stream of good news for them to be able to break through. The Dow Jones, calm and steady, sitting at its all-time historical highs above 50,000. So it remains above 50,000. That's a very, 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 very good sign. And as you can see, last night we had a small rebound. Sorry, not at night, not during the European night, maybe during the Japanese night, but not the European night. We had a little rebound right there on its resistance. I'm up as white. That way it managed to hold on to the 50,000 points, and now it's almost 200 points above that. So as long as we hold the 50,000 point line, as long as we're protected by this monthly support, it remains an extremely positive signal. So we can do that. Stay above for a while to get used to it, if you will, to get used to the thrill of being above 50,000 before maybe taking off again. But to take off again, there would need to be a new flow, something moving from tech stocks or from the Dow Jones. So yes, keep an eye on those tech stocks, Dropper. Right now, it's actually rather favorable for the Dow Jones and for European indices. The DAX 40 is also at its highest in 15 days. The problem is getting past the monthly R1 level. It just brushed against it. Last night, it couldn't break through. So, as you can see, we have a lot of indices. The S&P 500, the DAX, which are just below a major resistance level. There's just not enough buying momentum to push above it. We're waiting for some good news to be able to make that move. CAC 40. The one that's performing best right now is the one that started from the lowest point. So now it's climbing back up and we can see that it's even. Over the past 2 months, it's outperforming the NASDAQ, which itself is quietly approaching its all-time highs. As long as it stays above 8,300 points over these 2 months, that's generally a good sign. Let's move on to gold. I told you the risk was that gold would start ranging. Bam, that's exactly what's been happening for the past 48 hours. It's ranging. We're just moving sideways at this level. Around 5,000, our high point is at 5,100. We have a low point at 4,700 to 4,750, and for now we're just ranging. There's no massive influx of buying or selling. We're really in a stabilization zone. How long will this last? So right now it's really the time to get into a range on oil. Wait a few days, maybe a week or two. We'll get a breakout from the range, and that's when you can step in. You won't be stuck in the middle of a no man's land, out in the desert. That's where it's the most risky. And then, our friend, Bitcoin. It's trying to stabilize at 70,000. It's having a really hard time. Right now, we're at $69,390. It's holding there. If you look at your chart over 15 days, it's extremely bearish. Over 2 months, it's extremely bearish. Right now, there's an attempt to stabilize. There's the monthly support that's holding. Let's say it's around 71,000. That's acting as a bit of a barrier, so it can catch its breath again. So be cautious. Right now, it's clearly a coin toss. Technically, it's a coin flip. A small attempt at a rebound. It's been stagnating for 24, maybe even 48 hours if it keeps going today. And since it's Bitcoin, that's fine. There's going to be a breakout from the range, as you can see. There are very few times when it's like this. It's been ranging here. It was in a range at most between December and January 2nd. That's normal. Between December 24th and January 2nd, it's the period when nobody is trading. So it's well ranged like always, but just like you can see it on your charts every single day. We have breakout candles, usually on Bitcoin. So right now, for the past 48 hours, it's been trying to stabilize. It's not its nature, so be careful. Again, we don't buy in a range. That's just gambling. That's exactly what we want to avoid. That's it. I can't tell you more because yesterday I didn't trade. I was tired. I stuck to my trading rules. So no trades. Today I'm gonna trade. I'm feeling a bit better, so we'll see how it goes. For now, I can't give you more than that. I didn't feel the market's nervousness. I wasn't in the thick of the action. That's all there is to it. So here, I'm giving you a good morning trading that's a bit below par. It's a good morning trading from technical analysts, from the guy who doesn't go into battle and just explains to you how to fight. It's how it usually is. It's a trader talking to traders. But exceptionally, and believe me, if I'm exhausted, if I'm not trading, because after all, it's the thing I love most in the world. Well, actually, there are 2 other things I love more in the world. But we can't talk about that on YouTube. With that, I send you my best, take care, and I'll see you tomorrow. Now I'm switching over to the premium version for the day. From my school in 2 minutes. Ciao, everyone.